Good evening and welcome in here to the Pueblo Ice Arena and Event Center. Brendan Price with you. Game 3 of this three-game series, the final regular season clash between the Idaho Falls Spud Kings and the Pueblo Bulls. A big thank you for tuning in tonight on Black Bear TV or the Around the Horns Network audio stream on YouTube. Last night's contest had a little bit of everything for a little bit of everybody. Two fights, 5 ejections from the players' side, 1 coach ejection, 1 come from behind win, and the Pueblo Bulls escaped with a 4-3 victory yesterday thanks to Adam Brown's game-winning goal with 2:41 remaining in regulation to keep the Bulls' postseason hopes on life support. They are still hanging around, so they still could catch the outliers for that 4th and final playoff position, and they'll have to try and take the series here from Idaho Falls tonight. The Spud Kings coming in 35-10, 2-2, good for 74 points, and second in the Mountain Division. Ogden in action again tonight, so for Idaho Falls, they'll be trying to play catch-up with the Mustangs. Ogden also has a game in hand, so Idaho Falls will need some help down the stretch to try and clinch home ice. We mentioned some of the suspensions from yesterday. No Mick Keegan, no Aaron Arnold available for Pueblo, and no Braden Cunningham available for Idaho Falls. Both coaches have changed the starters around and made some tweaks in the lineup in order to adjust for the absences. Braden Olson, Bravery Esplin, and Blaine Cron, the third line tonight for Anthony Bone, and the Spud Kings will get the start on the blue line. DJ McLeish and the recently committed Lucas Rauner. It was announced earlier today that the Cloquet, Minnesota native will head to Lawrence University after his junior career ends. Congratulations to him, the 5th Spud King to ink a commitment this season. For the Bulls, Torin Arigatano, Quinn Metzger, and Joey Winogle up front. Quentin Flores and Marcus Jackson on the blue line. And Max Abduliev, his second start of the series between the pipes. Abduliev 8-6. with a .289 goals allowed average and a .914 save percentage. On the other side, we talked so much the last 2 nights about the workload, roughly 2/3 going to Devin Dagan's team. The other third, Alex Sabev, the Mountains View, Minnesota product, will get the call between the pipes tonight for Idaho Falls. His 13th appearance of the year, and the numbers have been really good. 2 goals allowed, 2.00 goals allowed average, and a .910 save percentage for Sabev this season as the backup. Moments away from puck drop here tonight in Pueblo, Idaho Falls and the Bulls. The regular season final matchup between these two rivals. We'll see who comes out at the end of these 60 minutes. We'll be back with more after the pregame introductions. Starting lineups and national anthem behind us here tonight in Pueblo. 60 minutes of Bulls hockey in front of us. It promises to be a good one. Here again tonight from the Pueblo Ice Arena and Event Center. Brendan Price here with you, filling in for Marty Wakeland this weekend. The Spud Kings trying to keep pace at the top of the Mountain Division, and the Pueblo Bulls trying to come up with a late hot streak and get some help to qualify as the fourth and final playoff team in the Mountain Division. It is the only playoff spot that has not been sealed up as of yet. Ogden, Idaho Falls, and Grand Junction are all in already. Max Abduliev getting the start, as we mentioned, between the pipes for the Bulls. Alex Sabev for Idaho Falls. As Esplin and Metzger both to the center circle. And we are underway. Flores will try and carry it out of his own end, hemmed in right away by the Spud Kings forecheck. Again, last night the Bulls were very good on the forecheck. They got better as the game progressed. McLeish pressured by Flores, who's activated from the point all the way down low. Olsen bumped up by Winogle, who had a very good game last night, 2 assists. His 5th multi-point game since joining the Bulls, as that one up into the Spud Kings bench sends the Idaho Falls coaching staff ducking for cover. Now, with some of the ejections and fights last night, there were some changes to the score sheet. Some of the guys we thought might be playing or not, and some of the coaches we thought might be coaching or not. Chris Wilhite able to coach tonight. The disqualification was amended to a bench major after he was kicked out of the game to start the second period. And on the other side, thought Camden Cunningham might be the one that got a suspension. Instead, it's his brother Braden. So Camden in the lineup. Braden Cunningham is not. Zeisel will try and leave this for Jager Wood. He had a goal last night. Becomes the first Bull rookie this year to hit double digits in the goal column. His 10th of the season. Cron through the neutral zone. Chops that around Shaw. Guerrero back to fetch it. Bulls will start to break out. Shaw dances through the neutral zone, gets around Atchison, now tries to further it through Will Strickland. Winds it around, Long fresh off the bench. Good thing he was there as well. Atchison was screaming down that left wing. Scherber will dump this in. Sabev his first touch of the puck. 1:20 gone in period number 1. Adam Brown, the game winner yesterday, his 5th goal of the season, first in over a month, giving the Bulls a much-needed 2 points. Sable, outlet pass, too hot to handle. This will go the length for icing. First stop, or second stoppage of the game, rather, in the early going. Thursday, both teams came out flat. Yesterday, both teams came out shot out of a cannon. We'll see what tonight holds. Clark matched up against Bookie Warshaw in the face-off. Circled 2 of the best guys in the Mountain Division in that regard. And fittingly, they tie up. Spud Kings will work the puck out. Atchison in the neutral zone. Gathers on the left wing, trying to lead LaPetrie. He scored about this time yesterday to give Idaho Falls a 1-0 lead. Bloomer at the right point, holds the zone, sends one through traffic. LaPetrie again. 2 quick efforts on the doorstep, and Abduliev comes up big there. Had 38 saves, or rather 36 saves on Thursday night. 2 shots were into the empty net. No, don't count against Abduliev's numbers. Nice work there at the left point by Wizenan. Holds the zone, forces the issue, and he'll keep forechecking. And this time it's the Bulls coaching staff ducking for cover. Folks still filing in tonight here in Pueblo. The last chance this weekend anyway to catch the Bulls at home. Just one more home weekend. The Ogden series at the end of March. Also the regular season finale for the Bulls right off the draw. Rister well wide of the mark by Schmidt. Morrissey tries to tie the puck up in the left wing corner. Biscuit will squirt loose in the low slot. Zeisel starts forward. Scored in the first period yesterday. 1-on-3 will chase down the puck on the forecheck. Worked ahead. That will get behind Flores. Abduliev asking for icing. Wade, as Jackson will get this only as far as the left point, but not out. Flores on the second effort. Smart move, puts on the brakes, retrieve possession. Trycheck will try and top that forward for Morrissey. Trycheck, back for Flores. Wade harassing him. It seems like even in the early going, the moment Flores has had the puck on his stick, it's been immediate pressure against the Arvada, Colorado product. Icing here, 16:39 to play in the first period. Mario getting the fans in-house, pumped up. As the Bulls trying again to get the crowd going. Mentioned it, points last night. It was as loud as it's been all year long here at the Pueblo Ice Arena in the third period yesterday. Again, we talked about the home ice advantage that the Bulls have. The fact that they're 16-9 so far here on home ice, again, just given how well they've played in years past, really, it feels like a letdown. Strictly from a winning percentage perspective, it is ever so slightly. Coming into this year, they had a .710 winning percentage in the NCDC. And they're hovering about .660 and change this year with the 16-8-0-1 record. Metzger surges through the neutral zone. Dispossessed by Strickland. Metzger will try and curl it back on the forehand. Indirect outlet pass for Rigatano. Lays it off for Metzger. Quinn tries to speed past Cannavaro, who knocks it off his stick. Long from the neutral zone. Blisters one in deep. Now Winogle looking for the puck. Drilled from behind by Camden Cunningham. Puck still wedged up on the wall in front of the Idaho Falls bench. Strickland. He's looking at the bench saying, sorry, my bad, guys, as he was trying to chip that off the boards and instead flipped it right up into the wall behind Anthony Bone. And Pueblo will get an offensive zone face-off out of it. Schultz, Wood, and Zeisel. You see Zeisel's the trigger man at the top of the circle if Schultz can get a clean win straight back. Ellsworth and Shaw out on the point for the first time tonight. And again, Idaho Falls ties up the face-off nicely. They'll break out. Blaine Cron across center red. Winds it around. It hits the linesman. Olsen will try and throw it to the front of the blue paint. Comes out right in the slot and a low slap shot wide by Sable. 4.5 minutes gone. The Bulls still looking for their first shot. The Spud Kings already with 4. Wood. That'll come to Bloomer. Zeisel tried to poke it away and break out. Instead, Idaho Falls holds the zone. Shaw will roll this one 200 feet. It'll go for icing. Ellsworth was able to get to the bench, but he's going to have to come right back out on the ice. A good effort from the rookie to try and sneak at least a partial change there for the Bulls. But Ellsworth summoned back out onto the ice, and a group that's been out there in their own defensive zone for about 40 seconds or so will have to contend with another D-zone draw. Warshaw, clean win back from McLeish. She drives one low and wide of the net. Rebound pops out in the right wing corner. Spuds go to work on the cycle. Wood harassed by Grimaldi. Tries to get it in front. Atchison, a stick save, batted the rebound away. And Abduliev able to loom large again between the pipes. And now it's DJ McLeish. Stretch pass, broken up by Jackson. Puck rolling around in the slot. Flores will finally collect it in the Pueblo zone. Jackson will leave it for Clark. Back from whence it came. Flores on the outlet through the neutral zone will possess and chip and chase. Strickland up the half wall. That one rolls over. Atchison stick pulls. Still trying to set something up 5-on-5. Good second effort by Clark in front of the Idaho Falls bench. Takes away the counterattack. Clarkey bumped off the puck. Rauner finishes his hit. Now Warshaw lays it off. And the Spuds will go to work in transition. Tyler Atchison whiffed on the pass and now whiffed on the dump in. Rigatano will get it ahead to Clark, who was on a knee. Icing is the call here. Clark was a step behind the center red line. Oh, now it's up to the referee to sort out who exactly was on the ice for the Bulls. 13:43 to go in the first period. Gotten a lot of work in this face-off circle. Left wing draw in the Pueblo zone. Bulls win it this time. Flores will wind it around as far as the point. Strickland holds the zone. And again, Idaho Falls tries to go to work. Rigatano, rink wide for Scherber. Scherber, chip and chase towards Cannavaro, right at Sable, who will cover it up. And the Bulls, I think for the first time, will be officially credited with a shot on goal there. Scherber put it right at Sabev. And as the rule goes, the puck would have gone in had the Minnesotan not been there. So officially Pueblo their first shot on goal 6.5 minutes in. And they'll send Tricek out with Zeisel and Morrissey. This line was excellent in the third period. Tricek, Morrissey, and Scherber last night. They'll start with Zeisel out there tonight. And off the draw, Morrissey really comfortable using his body in the corner, trying to dig the puck out. He goes to work, all 6'4", 195 of him. Still trying to get the puck away from Cannavaro. Tricek is in the middle of the board meeting as well. 3 Spud Kings down there. That's Cannavaro, Strickland, and Grimaldi. We saw this matchup in the third period yesterday, first line versus fourth line. And man, nobody can get the puck free. The folks over in the beer garden getting a bird's eye view at this battle. And finally, the puck worked out. Zeisel will work it at the high slot. Jimmy Z slides it for Long, edges in, left wing circle, loads up, and a breadbasket saved by Sabev. The rebound kicked around. And Long will collect it again, tries to feather it on the backhand underneath. And Long advanced into a ton of open real estate. Now Brown loads up, slap shot, and a right pad save by Sabev again. Zeisel chips it forward, looking for Tricek. Didn't realize where the puck was. And Idaho Falls will dump it in. And again, the best shift so far in the first period, 5-on-5, belongs to the fourth line. Long outlet pass, misses everybody, and will go for icing. And that was the kind of energy that Dave Nelson and Chris Wilhite both got from the fourth line last night, trying to make the playoff push. And those are the kinds of minutes that are hugely important. Camden Cunningham will take the faceoff. Shirao right behind him. Clean win for Pueblo. Zeisel offside. Metzger tried to drag that back foot. Did what he could. And again, Pueblo tonight playing with just 17 available skaters. Mario Solarte and Max Rentmeester both on the IR. They're out for the rest of the year. Aaron Arnold given a 3-game suspension for his third major penalty of the year. He's out of the lineup. And then Mick Keegan, we found out about 2-3 hours before game time, Keegan will be out serving a 1-game suspension tonight. So originally slated to just be 18, is down to 17 available bodies for the Bulls tonight. And after last night where they skated with 16 for the better part of 2 periods, have to wonder this weekend if legs start to be a factor here. Third game in 3. Guerrero twisting and turning, puts the puck around to the far side wall. Olsen takes a collision with Cha. Not sure I would call it a hit. The two run into each other, and now the Bulls will start out on the attack. Metzger urged forward through the neutral zone, has it knifed off his stick at the line. And offside here will put the faceoff right outside the Spud King zone. Idaho Falls 35-10-4 on the year. 5 games remaining. If they win 4, they will set a franchise record for wins in a single season. Set it with 38 last year en route to the Deneen Cup Championship. Puck still rolling around the faceoff circle. Wood pops that up into the front row over in section 2. Somebody gets a souvenir in that front row there. Those are the good souvenirs, the ones that come at you at about 2 miles an hour, a little flip up and out of play. It's the ones that come over the glass at 80 miles an hour that nobody really wants a piece of. Schultz and Esplin duel in the circle. Esplin with the win. McLeish, rink wide to Rauner. Up the near side wall. Gets that past Zeisel, delayed offside. And the Bulls will gather up possession and break out of their own zone. Rink wide pass hits Zeisel in stride. Just has it roll off the blade of his stick. Rauner scoops it up. Olsen again will try and jam it on the half wall. Pokes it free for Rauner. Back to McLeish behind the Idaho Falls net. And now the Spud Kings will break out Rauner. Outlet pass for Olsen. Touched along by Cron. Oh, that could be a penalty on Flores. Darn lucky it wasn't. Almost a horse collar grab of Cron as the two battled for possession behind the Bull net. Maybe the only reason it wasn't a penalty is Flores, as quickly as he grabbed, released. Jackson set to control in his own zone. Now Flores dodges this first stick check from Esplin. Pulls up in the neutral zone, waits for help. Doesn't like what he sees. Trying to help his teammates finish a change. Does just that. Long looking ahead for Brody Clark. Whacking away at the puck in front of the penalty box. Now Strickland on the turnover. Atchison across the Pueblo line. Wants to go rink wide. Now Canavari was laid into the play. Atchison's shot knocked down. Puck still loose in the high slot. Strickland's bid blocked into the corner. Another block shot for the Bulls. Orshawn Brown go careening into the corner. Long forces the puck out, and here go the Bulls. Scherber trying to accelerate around Canavari. And Scherber will get there in the corner. Great positioning from Canavari, though, to really take away the opportunity. Clark. Scherber back checking. Well, one-handed back for Brown. Shadowed by 2. The pass to Clark, too hot to handle. Delayed off sides on the Spud Kings. 9:12 to go in the first period. Still scoreless tonight in Pueblo. Brown, cross-corner dump into the near side. He's the only one after it for the Bulls. Bloomer will fold that up against the corner. And that'll go the length of the ice. On goal at Abduliev. That'll negate the icing. Jackson nearly turned it over on the stretch pass. Spud Kings collect at their own blue line. Grimaldi has the shoulder around Jackson, tries to put a pass in front. Abduliev uses the stick, takes it away. Jimmy Zeisel accelerates in transition across the Spud King blue line. Zeisel dispossessed by Sable, who's then promptly wrapped up by Morrissey in the corner. Another board battle for the fourth line ensues. Morrissey, Trichek, both trying to work the puck free. Morrissey tripped up. The Bulls want a penalty. They won't get it. Puck bouncing around in the neutral zone. Trichek will leave it for Jackson. Flores puts this up off the ceiling and out of play. And that will come to a close. Over 3 minutes of continuous action. 8:06 to go in the first period. We'll step aside for the media timeout.
Good play.
Well, the media timeout brought to you by Powerhouse Excavation and Construction. 0-0, still scoreless tonight at the PIA. Brendan Price with you, filling in for Marty Wakeland this weekend. Idaho Falls will have an offensive zone face-off out of the timeout. And off the draw, it's the Spud Kings, who again will try and cycle in the offensive zone. Grimaldi out of the corner, sends one towards the front of the net. That one's still rolling around at the edge of the blue paint, and Abduliev will cover it up. Shaw with a couple of extra pops at Hunter Wizadan, trying to defend the crease. Abduliev again was excellent on Thursday. And Abduliev there reaches out, makes the glove save on Schmidt, much to the delight of the crowd. Bulls, 5 comeback wins this year for Pueblo, 3 of them now, or rather 2 of them now at Idaho Falls' expense. They were down 3-1 yesterday, battled back with 3 unanswered. And if you're Chris Wilhite and company, you really love, in so many ways, to get off to a faster start. Just because you're getting used to playing from behind against a certain team and you feel good coming from behind, it's not necessarily a habit you want to get into. Ellsworth, terrific outlet pass for Zeisel. Down the left wing, Zeisel lays it off for Clark, tries to backhand one. Downstairs for Scherber, pass broken up. And now it's the Spud Kings 2-on-2 on the counterattack. Wizenand across the Pueblo line, tries to play ahead for McLeish. Taken away by the Bulls. Zeisel already. Jimmy Z seeing a ton of minutes tonight. Camden Cunningham towards the net. And a glove save by Abduliev at the top of the blue paint. And you wonder if that's a workload that, again, with only 17 available skaters, and where the Bulls are short is up front. Down 2 forwards tonight. You wonder if Jimmy Zeisel is the one that will get the workload here in the first period, and maybe Pueblo tries to spread that around as the night progresses. Cannavari's shot through traffic, doesn't make it through. Already, Idaho Falls has really stepped up the pressure on the forecheck. 2 bodies in the offensive zone, and the Bulls have had a really difficult time clearing the zone at the first time of asking. Schultz tries to get around Strickland on the right wing half wall, over skates, hits the deck. Now Rigatano out of the tie-up. That one's high and still somehow stays in play in front of the Idaho Falls bench. Schultz will lay it off for Rigatano. Chips it to himself. And the hockey equivalent of kickball finally settled down. Long will gain center red and dump this in behind Sabev, who's seen just 3 shots here in the opening 13-plus minutes tonight. Similar to Thursday, Idaho Falls did an excellent job not letting the Bulls get many shots on goal. They had just a total of 20 in the game against Devin Dagenstein. And it wasn't just that Idaho Falls needed to block a ton of shots. They just didn't give the Bulls a real angle. Abduliev with a left pad save in front. Fire drill in the Bulls' defensive zone, and they'll finally clear. Sabev, watch out. Flipped up Tricek, who was trying to knock the puck away behind the Idaho Falls net. Jackson, a reverse hit on Olsen. Not sure who wore the worst of it. Now Jackson tries to turn this out of the tie-up in front of the penalty boxes. Esplin, cross-corner dump into the near side. First one to it. Cron, great second effort to even get a shot there. Abduliev with the stop. Shot by Rauner through traffic. Wanted the redirection, couldn't get it. And much like Thursday, Pueblo has not been able to get really anybody in front of Sabev in the offensive zone. Just hasn't been a lot of 5-on-5 generated play offensively for the Bulls. Rigatano lobs one rink wide, take it in! And it was Metzger who was hacked down And the Bulls will go to the power play. Quinn Metzger, like the flash, in the top corner of the right wing, cut to the net, forced the issue on McLeish. Or not McLeish. Or is it McLeish? Not sure who the guilty party is going to be. It is the Idaho Falls captain, DJ McLeish, who will go to the box. And the Bulls will go to the power play for the first time tonight. And that was the difference maker last night for the Bulls. 2 power play goals in the contest, 2 for 4 on the man advantage. The first time they'd scored multiple power play goals in 20 games. And, you know, talking with Chris Wilhite and Dave Nelson, that's one of the things they really almost harp on with Idaho Falls and Ogden. Why are they so good? Because when other teams make mistakes, take penalties, and they wind up on the power play, they take advantage habitually. And the Bulls, for the first time in a long time, last night were able to do that. The power play comes in tonight, 15% on the year, 25 for 193. And this was the unit that found success last night when Ogle cross-checked from behind and then had his stick sent flying into the sky. Metzger, Scherber, Winogle, Brown, and Rigatano. That unit scored the ultimate game-winning goal last night. Metzger down the left wing and right in the Idaho Falls, or rather the state of Idaho logo there on the Spud Kings red jerseys. A+, by the way, on the fashion report for the Spud Kings with the red jerseys, the alternate mark. The state of Idaho. Clark and Warshaw for the draw. Clark, clean win back. Jackson just unable to control the puck. And the Bulls will reset in the neutral zone. Power play unit number 1 out. Sabev came out, tried to block the puck up behind the net. Board battle, and now shorthanded. Look out, cook out. Bookie Warshaw opens up right wing circle. And that was a nifty shot from Warshaw. Opened up like he was waiting for the trailer to pass. And then, with his body turned towards the wing, still able to rip a pretty good shot on net at Abduliev. So a short-handed attempt there for the Spuds, who don't have but 3 shorties this year as a group. It's not something they really, I think, focus on from a penalty killing perspective. It's really more about not allowing teams to shoot. But again, Idaho Falls in this first period more aggressive than we saw them really at any point Thursday or Friday. A definite tactical adjustment from Anthony Bone's side in the early going. Wade in the neutral zone will flip this back towards Abduliev. 20 seconds left on the Adams Electric power play. Rigatano blows a tire, stumbles, then gives it away. Warshaw unable to cross the blue line. Now he does. Quick shot on goal. Abduliev gloved it, tried to play the puck. And this, if you're the red and gold, has been an exquisite penalty kill thus far. Bulls cycled the puck in the opening 25 seconds, got a shot through traffic. But other than that, Idaho Falls has really kept the Bulls in their own zone and in the neutral zone, have really prevented the breakout for the most part. And now Pueblo on the move on the power play, trying to start up in the O zone. A whistle and a penalty. And I think this is going against the Bulls. Could have been a hook from behind. And it looks like the rookie, Bobby Morrissey, is headed to the sin bin. So we'll have 2 seconds of 4-on-4 time, and then Idaho Falls will virtually have the entirety of a power play, a minute 58, with which to deal with. It's a high sticking penalty going against Morrissey. And so the Bulls again 4-on-4, but only ever so briefly before Idaho Falls goes to the power play. Idaho Falls last night was 0 for 3 on the man advantage, including the major power play. Or check that, they were 1 for 3, excuse me. They did score on the major. It was a goal that was overturned on review, or originally called no goal on the ice, and then credited to Bookie Warshaw, who's got 3 goals in 2 games this weekend. Cannavaro trades places with McLeish, who walks it in from the point, sends one on goal, and a blocker save by Abduliev with Wade right at the edge of the blue paint, providing a screen in front of the Pueblo netminder as the net has to get put back on its moorings. Grimaldi in for the faceoff, and as good as the Spud Kings have been in this first period, one-timer stopped a rebound. Man, I can't believe Schmidt missed the net there. He can't either. I was going to say, as good as the Spuds have played in this first period, the top line has been fairly quiet. They're out there now on the power play. McLeish through traffic. Hello. Abduliev with the glove, able to reel another one in. Idaho Falls has thrown everything and the kitchen sink at the Russian International in this first period. Number 1 power play unit still out for the Spud Kings. Schmidt, Grimaldi, Wade, McLeish, and Cannavaro. And the faceoff one straight back, splits the uprights at the blue line. And McLeish will have to retreat into his own zone. Idaho Falls starts the breakout. DJ McLeish, the third-year defenseman. Coast to coast, McLeish pulls up on the half wall on the right wing. And the Spuds will go to work. 45 seconds left on the power play. 1:30 remaining in the first period. Patient as ever, around the horn go the Spuds. McLeish checked by Winogle at the left point. Gets it downstairs. Wade and Schmidt pitch and catch. Now it comes to Winogle, and he'll slip this past McLeish and clear the zone. Allows the Bulls penalty killers to change. Idaho Falls will follow suit on the power play. Unit number 2 over the boards. Rauner will start forward, drop pass, and now LaPetrie will gather this in on the right wing. Full head of steam, plays it into the slot. Warshaw gets it back on the drop pass. Now into the high slot for Rauner, a turnover. The Bulls shorthanded, have a 2-on-1. Zeisel has Schultz steaming ahead. It's Zeisel the stop. Save again. Flores on the backhand. Couldn't put the third effort in. And the Bulls are back at full strength. 2 quick options at the end of the rush. Now the other way. Oh, Max Abduliev. Are you kidding? Sliding to his left. 2 excellent saves. Atchison was on his backhand, which is frankly I think the only reason Abduliev was able to get over in time. Atchison just really couldn't get all he wanted to on that shot. Back-to-back 2-on-1s. And the Bulls will try and fend off this final half minute of attack here. Idaho Falls has been all over it in this first period. 18 shots on goal for the Spud Kings. Face off on the left wing. Esplin ties up with Schultz, who will play it into the corner. Flores tries to jam it out. And now a board battle in the corner. Finally, Pueblo will get it around to the near side. Flores tries to tie it up on the half wall. Rink wide pass. The far side, nobody home. Chaw will start forward out of his own end. 4 seconds to go. Chaw will flip one in. A blocker save by Sabev, and he puts it up out of play with 1 second remaining in the first period. Time for a clean win and a shot, maybe, for the Bulls. And recognizing that, the net empty, 6 on 5. Abduliev will head to the bench. And the tie-up off the face-off will end period number 1. After 20 minutes, we're right where we started, knotted up at 0. Max Abduliev and Alex Sabev trading donuts after 20 minutes tonight. The Bulls head to the locker room. Outshot 18-7, but still tied in the column that counts. Again, Idaho Falls trying to push for home ice advantage in the playoffs, and the Bulls trying to keep their postseason hunt alive. 40 minutes will decide how it ends tonight. 0-0. We'll step aside for the intermission break. When we return, second period action here tonight from the Pueblo Ice Arena. Stay tuned. Moments away from the start of the second period here tonight in Pueblo. 0-0 our score after 20 minutes. Idaho Falls and the Pueblo Bulls. In that opening period, it was the Spud Kings that really controlled the 5-on-5 play. The shot column 18-7 in favor of the visitors. And, it wasn't just the shots in the opening 20 minutes tonight. Idaho Falls did an excellent job during the 5-on-5 play of making it hard for the Bulls to get out of their own zone, especially on the first attempt. There were a handful of times in that first period where the Spud Kings were able to stop a puck at the point, recycle it down low, keep bodies moving, and get multiple shots over Max Abduliev. And the 2005 birth-year netminder, 18 for 18 in that opening frame. He was excellent, made a couple of really nice saves on a 2-on-1 to deny Tyler Atchison as well. That was probably Idaho Falls' best scoring opportunity of the period, that 2-on-1 with just over 5 minutes remaining in the frame. And on the other side, Alex Sabev, 7 for 7. He hasn't been tested often. We said that about Dagenstein on Thursday night. But really, at the end of the day, what matters is that Sabev has stopped all 7 tests he's seen. He's kept his team tied at 0, given the offense a chance to try and find the back of the net against Abduliev. But overall, it's been a 0-0 game. There really has been a solid defensive night for both of these teams. Even with the shots on goal, the Bulls have done a good job keeping rebounds out of a dangerous area on their side of things and not let Idaho Falls get traffic in front. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play in the first period. The Spud Kings had to kill off a DJ McLeish tripping penalty. The Bulls had to kill off a Bobby Morrissey high sticking minor. And on both power plays, the penalty killing units were able to generate a couple of opportunities shorthanded, which again, neither of these teams, that's their preferred, I would say, method of operating on the penalty kill. They'll take chances at the blue line occasionally, but it has really been more about trying to focus on getting the puck clear 200 feet or dig the puck up, or put the puck rather, up against the boards. The Bulls moments away from taking the ice. No carryover penalties to start this second period. Everyone begins the period of the long change at full strength. As Max Abduliev, again, he was the man of the hour in the opening 20 minutes tonight, 18 saves. And the question now is going to be, can the Idaho Falls offense find a way to break through on Abduliev? And for the Bulls, can they generate some 5-on-5 offensive zone time? They really only had 2 consistent 5-on-5 cycles in that first period, and the thing they were unable to do on either was get traffic in front of Alex Sabev. That was how all 4 goals were scored last night for Pueblo, was they were able to get traffic in front, 3 redirections, and then a screen slap shot off the stick of Adam Brown. And so far, with the 7 shots on goal, Sabev had 1 sequence where he had to deny a rebound from Blake Schultz. There was a slight piece of pandemonium at the edge of the crease, but Sabev able to quickly scoop up the rebound, didn't allow it to become anything more dangerous. Metzger and Esplin for the opening goal in the second period. Both teams will send out the guys that started the game, and we're underway in period number 2. Again, period of the long change. And statistically, this has been the frame the Bulls have struggled with the most this season. Flores tries to drive one on goal, and it's blocked. Bulls will again try and continue the cycle down low. Pueblo -7 in the second period this year. They were -1 last night. Metzger on the backhand will get it down low for Rigatano. Pass into Metzger. Left wing faceoff circle and a stick save by Sabev in front. Well, already the Bulls with an early shot here in this second period. They did not record a shot until 4.5 minutes in to the first period. Again, Idaho Falls did an excellent job buttoning up the Bulls in the neutral zone. Didn't really allow for a whole lot of time and space. Schultz, Wood, and Zeisel out there, the second line for the Bulls. Schultz against Warshaw in the face-off circle. And out of the tie-up, Wood tries to push the puck behind the Idaho Falls net, comes out into the neutral zone. Zeisel will flip it right back in deep. Canavari spins away from the forecheck. And that one right in front again. Sabev having to use the paddle to make the save. One and done for the Bulls. LePetrie into the left wing corner in the Bulls zone. Knocked off the puck by Schultz. Brown will flip it around the far side wall. Strickland holds the zone long. A bouncing puck. Caught it with his skate. Stumbled and then only able to get the puck as far as the blue line. Now Atchison in the corner. Into the slot. That one rolled towards the front of the net. Bounces off the stick of LePetrie. Now it's Jager Wood through the neutral zone. Will play it along. Zeisel tries to work it ahead. Delayed offside on the Bulls becomes a moot point as the puck goes up into the rafters and out of play. Well, it's a sellout here tonight in Pueblo again. Just a couple of empty seats floating around, but another good crowd in the penultimate home series of the season. Grimaldi will take the face-off against Clark on the right wing. Clark wins it straight back. Now Guerrero whiffed on the shot, but the second effort prevents a counterattack from fully developing for Idaho Falls. That's where the Spud Kings are so darn dangerous. It's when they can get numbers forward on the counter in a hurry. Guerrero gets it back in front of the Bull net. Guerrero, the former Louisiana driller, will start forward on the backhand. Didn't really get all the way on that dump in. Opportunity still there for the Bulls. Clark dances at the left point. Grimaldi picks his pocket. And now the co-captain for the Spud Kings off to the races. Rink wide to Wizenan, top of the left wing circle. Lobs one in, looking for the tip. Doesn't find it. Bloomer, his drive from the right point, hits a shin pad. Karam's right back out to the point. Bloomer steps into another snapshot and missed high. Schmidt back up top. It's Bloomer. Didn't really have a good position. Had to have it come out into the neutral zone. Sable will dump it right back in. Indirect stretch pass looking for Scherber. He'll handle it and push it behind the Idaho Falls net. Zeisel, the lone forechecker for the Bulls, who in that first period did not spend as many numbers forward as they did in the second and third last night. Jackson back to Flores. His pass for Morrissey. He wants to go east to west. Collected there by Zeisel. Takes it, Karam right to Morrissey. Right wing circle, save after the glove save. And then swatted the rebound into the corner. Looked like momentary indecision from Sabev as to whether or not he was going to pick up the rebound or put it in the corner. And it nearly cost him a goal. Great recovery, though, to prevent that from becoming a larger issue. Offside as Jackson's dump in hit Tricek, who was coming back trying to tag up. Face off over in front of the Pueblo bench. Metzger and Esplin again in the circle. And off the draw, the Bulls will win it. Jackson from the neutral zone rips one in. Sabev dropped it, didn't catch it cleanly. Rigatano out of the corner, tries to feather a pass in front for Winogle. Bumped off the puck by Canavari. Now Metzger off the half wall, has his pocket picked. And now the Spud Kings try and move in transition. Olsen Checked from behind by Winogle. Now Metzger will one-hand it back into the neutral zone. Cannavaro ties it up. Loses possession. Winogle down the right wing. Top of the face-off circle. Wanted to hit Metzger in the low slot. His stick was tied up. Now it's the Spuds in transition. Cron, the spinorama, gets free in the high slot. His snapshot may have glanced off the blocker of Abduliev and wide. Strickland pinches in at the left point, and that one will roll up the top of the corner glass and out of play. 15:38 to go here in period number 2. Still looking for our first goal tonight. Not so much the case elsewhere around the Mountain Division. Ogden on top of Casper 3-0 with 16 minutes to go in the second period, and Rock Springs and Grand Junction tied at 1 after 20 minutes at the River City Sportsplex. LePetrie booted from the face-off circle. Warshaw has to step in and take it, which I'm not sure is really a significant minus if you're the Spud Kings, as good as he is there. Zeisel now long. He'll get that past the Spud Kings into their own zone. Sable pressured by Woods. Sable gets it away only as far as Zeisel at the left point. Zeisel rolls it down low. One shot there from Wood. Patted aside. Now long on the regather from the left point through traffic. The Bulls again finally able to get some traffic in front of Sabev rather. Back-to-back attempts on that sequence. And again, that was where Pueblo found success scoring last night. All 4 of their goals involved traffic in front of Devin Dagenstein. 3 redirections, and then the Brown goal. Idaho Falls has done a great job limiting the Bulls being able to get that traffic in front, and that starts with cutting off 5-on-5 cycling. It's really tough to establish a net front position when you can't hold the zone and you can't keep control of the puck. Wood tied up by Sable behind the Idaho Falls net. Sable on the outlet for Warshaw. He's got Atchison with him. Wrister blocked. LePetrie was the one who finally got that shot away. LePetrie, again, one of 7 double-digit goal scorers for this Spud Kings offense. They get scoring a little bit from everywhere. Brown off the restart. We'll look ahead for Scherber through the neutral zone. Sherbs will wrap this around to the far side wall. Arigatano pinching in there, trying to force the issue. Brown steps in from the point. The Spud Kings, one and done, get the puck out into the neutral zone. Warshaw across the Pueblo line. Wrister blocked by Clark, up and out of play. That will bring about another whistle. 5:31 into the second period. Pueblo on the road next weekend, another 3-game series. It's been very in vogue for the Bulls' schedule here in the second half. 3 at home against Idaho Falls this weekend, 3 at home against Rock Springs 2 weeks ago. They had a 3-game set with Ogden in January. On the road in Casper for 3 next weekend. Let's see if the youngster tries to get for the souvenir. There he goes. Oh, the fans love it. There he goes. He was in the right place at the right time, just walking back from the bathroom, and the puck popped up through the netting right to him. We talk about goaltenders making good positional saves. That was a fan getting a nice, good positional souvenir. Ooh, look out. Ellsworth took a high stick right in the chops. Incidental. Play continues. Grimaldi tries to go up top for Rauner. D-to-D McLeish. McLeish through traffic. That one well high and off the mark. Rauner on the regather will fling one towards the front of the net. Grimaldi gets it downstairs. Wizenand around to the right wing half wall. Grimaldi in the top line cycling here for the Spuds. Wizenand whiffed on the pass to the point. McLeish walks the line. Rauner around the horn it goes. His effort to goal blocked by Cha. And the Bulls will clear the zone. Scherber, one-on-one, tries to get around McLeish. She'll roll it on net at Sabev, who will cover up with a pair of Bulls providing oncoming pressure. Well, the way this one has been contested so far, honestly, it's hard to believe that we had 2 fights, 5 ejections, and 84 penalty minutes just about 24 hours ago. 2 entirely different teams out on the ice tonight. And another high stick. This one they'll get. Zeisel took that one right in the mouth. And the Bulls, for just the second time tonight, are set to head to the Adams Electric power play as Ronald Wade will enjoy a 2-minute all-expenses-paid vacation in the sin bin. And again, this is the kind of opportunity for the Bulls where you really, really need to take advantage even in the early going. Still a lot of time left, but kind of power plays that you don't want to rue missing these chances later in the game when you're still tied or you're trailing. Idaho Falls wins the draw. Shirao, Grimaldi, Strickland, and Canavari, the 4-man penalty killing unit for the Spud Kings. MJ out of his own end. Rink wide, finds Schultz, who will drill this in deep behind the Idaho Falls net. Canavari whips it around, comes out to the point. Jackson sweeps it up top for Flores. Bulls set up around the horn. Schultz, Zeisel, Clark, Flores, and Jackson. Schultz walks it downstairs behind the Idaho Falls net. Now to Flores, right wing half wall. Pitch and catch on the right side. Flores edges in, looks for an angle. Instead will go down low for Schultz. Schultz holds. Jackson, touch pass right back to Zeisel. Top of the left wing circle. Zeisel goes down low to Schultz. Schultz back to Zeisel. Rink wide, it's Flores. That was the look they wanted. The one-timer clapped it high to the glove side. They spent 40 seconds trying to get that look. That's how Flores has scored both of his goals this year, both on the power play, both from the top of a face-off circle. Waiting for that one-timer as Sabev dislodging the net, moving post to post there. So the officials will put that back on its moorings. Minute 2 left on the power play. 12:33 to go in the second period, 0-0. Grimaldi, I think, is going to get kicked out of the faceoff circle. There he goes. Jack Shirao will have to step in his place. Clark able to win it back, but right to the Spud Kings. Great work from Sam Grimaldi to jump into that lane and take the puck away. Flores turns on the afterburner, steams past Grimaldi, gains center red. Flores all the way down this right wing. Has the puck knocked off his stick. Rigatano will drill it around and behind. Bulls again trying to set up on this power play. Second attempt, and that ball caroms off the stanchion back out into the neutral zone. Flores rips it around, tries to set one Ogle up. It's Brown. He got his stick caught in the boards. Tough break there for Pueblo. Flores able to back check, though, and prevent it from becoming anything larger than just bad luck. Winogle across the Idaho Falls line. Winogle pulls up Scherber. Now Brown trades places with Scherber. Scherber, top of the right wing circle, wants to go rink wide. That pass broken up, and Idaho Falls is back at full strength. Everyone's penalty kill remains perfect. 2 for 2 now is Idaho Falls. Metzger out of the right wing corner, up top to the right point. Brown thought about the shot, didn't really have a lane. Atchison and cut it off quite nicely. Winogle, now Brown drills one. The snapshot wide of the net. Winogle ties up his man in the corner. Metzger tries a backhand pass, gets it to Long. Long sidesteps one, throws it in, and Sabev made a left pad save. It's a game of Plinko in the high slot. And finally, Idaho Falls will clear the zone. Atchison on the counter. Top of the left wing circle. Sable, the trailer, was drilled by Arigatano as he released the shot. Second try. Jumping into the play from Bloomer is wide. Now Torrin Arigatano. Full steam ahead. He hit the goal post. Arigatano missed by maybe an inch. Sabev wasn't ready for the shot. He was surprised as anyone that wrister made it through. Jager Wood tries to throw a pass in front. It comes to Morrissey. His drive blocked. The Bulls starting to pick up the pressure here in the second period. Try check in the corner, and we have a whistle and a penalty. And it's going to be a head contact minor against the Bulls. So for the second time tonight, Pueblo will go to the penalty kill. And I think it's going to be Morrissey who gets the gate again. The rookie heads to the box, and the Bulls head to the Adam J. Schultz Law Firm penalty kill. Second power play of the night for Idaho Falls. 0 for 1 in that first period. And it was Morrissey who was in the penalty box the last time as well for a high stick. And a chance here for Idaho Falls to maybe short circuit some of the momentum that Pueblo had started to generate after their power play and ensuing 5-on-5 cycle. Canavari, great pass down low. Wade whiffed on the one-timer. That was on a one-way ticket to the back of the net. Wood gets it back, tries to play it to the front. Puck rolling around. And the net behind Abduliev is off its moorings. And man, Ronald Wade, you can see him shaking his head in the high slot. I mean, that guy's he's a potent goal scorer. He was last year. He was good this year in Oklahoma, and he's just as surprised as anybody that he couldn't get all the way turned around on that one-timer. Clean win off the draw for Idaho Falls. McLeish will give it to Schmidt. Number one power play unit out for Idaho Falls. Wade back to the Spud Kings co-captain. One-timer blocked in front. Canavari still able to hold the zone at the right point. Jackson, Flores, Clark, and Scherber on the penalty kill for Pueblo as that one is popped up and out of play. 9:32 to go here in the second period. Over halfway home tonight in Pueblo. Still looking for our first goal of the night. Grimaldi will take the face-off. Clark has to head to the bench. Abduliev having a conversation just at the top corner of your picture with the referee. Grimaldi and Schultz will step in for the face-off. Grimaldi scored on the power play on Thursday, his 10th power play goal of the season. One of the best weapons in the division. Here, a backhand to the front. Abduliev makes the save. The rebound still hanging around. And again, I think the net behind Max Abduliev is off its moorings. Yes, it is. Max trying to play mechanic back there. I wonder if there's something wrong with the pegs. They'll try and get that reset. 1:06 left on the Idaho Falls power play. And we saw that in this period on the other end of the ice where Sabev pushed post to post and knocked the net off its moorings as well. Sometimes that happens. They can't bore the pegs down into the net. Abduliev with a body save, swats the rebound away from the near side twice. And now the Bulls send the puck 200 feet. Zeisel with the first real kill, or real clear rather, on the penalty kill. McLeish out of his own zone. Will walk it up the right-hand side and now dump this in. Canavari ties up Brown. Puck will come free for long. Watch out. Just kept that in play off the boards in front of the Idaho Falls bench. Spud Kings, no rush on the breakout. 17 seconds left on the power play. Warshaw across center red now over the Pueblo line on the left wing. His toe drag wrister blocked by Brown. Rebound not dealt with cleanly, and the Spud Kings will continue to set up. Rauner, Atchison, top of the left wing circle, goes upstairs to the point. Wrister and that one high over the blocker of Abduliev. And the Bulls are back at full strength. They kill off the penalty to Morrissey, and they're now 2 for 2 on the power play. 8:11 to go in the second period. We'll take the media timeout, brought to you by Powerhouse Excavation and Construction. The media timeout brought to you by Powerhouse Excavation and Construction. 8:11 to go in the second period. Still scoreless tonight at the Pueblo Ice Arena. Both of these teams in search of 2 points, a pivotal 2 points, and for different reasons. Idaho Falls is in the playoffs for sure. They've clinched. They clinched a week and a half ago. It's can they get home ice for the Dineen Cup Championships, which by virtue of hosting, they automatically qualify for. And for Pueblo, it's can they somehow finish the season on a tear and get into the postseason with the last gasp of the regular season. Esplin on the wrap and a left pad save by Abduliev. Rigatano tries to lead Winogle. Turnover in the neutral zone. Olsen on the re-entry, drilled by Chaw into the half wall. Now Winogle on the outlet, looks up, right down Broadway, sidesteps Camden Cunningham. And Cunningham on the second effort, able to take possession away. Fresh off the bench, Flores holds the zone for the moment. Q on the backhand, will get it downstairs. Winogle tied up by Rauner in the corner, over by all the Bulls scratches. Winogle gets some support. Now Schultz, right back from whence it came. Rigatano works into some space. Flores at the left point. Sidesteps Olsen. Flores still in possession on the forehand. They'll bring it around for Schultz. Comes out and looking short side. That shot high and wide. Rebound bounces kindly to Rigatano. His rink wide pass hits a skate. Bulls still somehow control it. Rigatano takes a shot. It's gloved by Sabev. Sabev again, already 6 saves in this period after seeing just 7 shots in the opening 20 minutes tonight. Schultz matches up against Camden Cunningham. In Idaho Falls, started his junior career with the Helena Bighorns in the Frontier Division in the NA3HL. Bighorns perennial Fraser Cup contenders out of that division. Board meeting in the left wing corner. Puck is buried somewhere under a maze of skates and finally comes out. Idaho Falls on the move. The dump in, Shirao after it. Jackson gets there first. Biscuit comes out to the high slot. Cannavari's shot blocked. And now Jader Wood trying to accelerate. He will negate icing. Wood tries to turn the puck in front of the net, gets it back to the point. Brown on the backhand will keep the cycle going. Jackson just holds the zone. Well, the way everyone reacted, they acted like it was delayed offside. I didn't see the signal from the linesman. Given the wood beams of the press box, a little bit visually impeded up here. Cannavari wants to go with the stretch pass. Clark takes it away. The captain, right wing circle, and a breadbasket save. Sabev uses the glove, keeps the rebound pinned up against his body. 5:29 to go in the second period. Another tight defensive grinded out contest between Idaho Falls and Pueblo. The Spud Kings have secured the season series win. They've already won 5 of the first 8 meetings. So the Spud Kings will take the regular season head-to-head series. That's probably the last thing on the minds of the Bulls now. They just need 2 points here tonight. Bloomer lost his bucket, and I think he might have gotten hit by a high stick. Rigatano and Warshaw right in front of the camera there, exchanging pleasantries or not so pleasantries, as the case may go. And Rigatano definitely caught Bloomer, knocked the helmet off. No intent anywhere. Now Chaw having some words with Bloomer, who is being escorted to the bench. Again, after the way last night's game went, everyone seems fairly calm and collected, at least right up until that sequence. The Bulls may be a bit fortunate to not wind up with a high sticking penalty, but the referees have gone over to the referees' crease to have a conversation without any prying ears as Sam Grimaldi and Brody Clark wait at the edge of the referees' circle. Bloomer is going over to the officials and saying, hey, here's the evidence. It is within the referee's discretion to award the minor for a high stick. And the longer this conversation takes, the more inclined I am to think that they may ding Rigatano for the high sticking penalty. As a crowd gathers at the edge of the referee's crease, trying to see which Bull isn't over there right now. Clark, Zeisel, Jackson, Brown, all waiting. Sam Grimaldi as well. Chris Wilhite is telling all of his players to get back and to leave all of the officials alone. Again, that was a somewhat contentious relationship last night that culminated in Marcus Jackson getting a 10-minute major penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct and Chris Wilhite getting an ejection. Nobody in the box yet. And again, this is the longest conversation we've had to date tonight with 5:18 to go in the second. And it appears no penalties or further discipline required. Maybe not quite much ado about nothing, but certainly something to monitor as the night progresses. Chris Wilhite's upset about something, and right off the draw, Saban had to make a left pad save. Zeisel tries to spin a second effort towards the net. Brown pinches in. Now Scherber from the left point. Kick save, Sabev again. Some rebounds have been there for Pueblo. They just haven't had the net front position to take advantage. Atchison drops Clark in the high slot, and then Adam Brown returns the favor. All of a sudden, things starting to resemble last night's clash. Brown checked into the corner by Warshaw. Now Ellsworth will surge forward. 2 assists last night for Clay Ellsworth at the blue line. Accelerates across the Spud King line on the backhand. Ellsworth sweeps it towards the front of the net, and a glove save by Sabev. That was a one-handed backhand look from Clay Ellsworth. It's reminiscent of how, I guess, is he now Tampa Bay Lightning winger Corey Perry ended warm-ups every game as a Duck by one-handing a backhand from center ice into the net. Takes a fair bit of strength to do that and get the puck on net with any velocity. Rigatano whips one high and wide to Sabev's glove side. Rebound caroms back into the Bull defensive zone. Chaw, dangerous rink-wide pass. Spud Kings unable to intercept, but they'll still regroup and re-enter. Wizenan, right wing corner towards the front. Right toe save of Duliev. Rebound springs Winogle. Flips it into the neutral zone to Rigatano. Great pass. Hits Metzger in stride. Metzger from the left wing. His shot kicked off the side of Sabev. May have hit the side of the net instead. Oh, great play by Metzger. Holds the zone. Puts it down low. Winogle the tip. The rebound off the crossbar. Rigatano for the second time in the period draws iron. Now Winogle will hammer it down low. The Bulls continue to cycle. Metzger waits. Edge of the left wing circle. Zeisel high slot fan on the shot. Quickly recovered. And the Spud Kings will hit the emergency release valve and ice the puck with 3:28 to go here in the second. And that's the best flurry in the offensive zone the Bulls have had all night. The quick shot from Metzger hit Sabev's shoulder. The rebound caromed out. Allowed Winogle to get a tip at goal. He was denied. And then Rigatano, he's out here in the Mighty Ducks trying to play the three posts game. He's got one goal post in the crossbar so far. Again, we saw this earlier in the second period where the Bulls, 5-on-5, were really able to put together 2 or 3 shifts back-to-back where they generated offensive pressure. It was short-circuited really only by a penalty taken by the Bulls. Cannavari's headman pass misses the mark. And for the third time in as many seconds, Idaho Falls ices the puck. Somewhat uncharacteristic for a team that wants to get north to south and skate the puck up the ice. Really uncharacteristic for them to just be firing and looking for a stretch pass. Or are they going to say that somebody tipped the puck on the way through? Yeah, Chris Wilhite's asking that very question. I think they are going to bring the faceoff out to center ice. And he's asking for an explanation. He's quite vehemently making his case, but so instead of icing, it's a face-off at center, as I think Atchison must have gotten a piece of that puck on the near side. Again, was going to say that it's really uncharacteristic to see the Spud Kings just kind of fling it and look for the outlet. They really want to skate the puck north to south, break the puck out controlled. McLeish behind his own net will gather it up and again goes for the stretch pass. And again, nobody able to get turned around on the end of it. Anthony Bone is saying it was tipped. And on the one hand, it looked like Cron may have gotten a stick to that, but I think after the last 50-50 consternation over icing, maybe you could make the argument it all kind of evens out. I'm sure if Pueblo's able to set up in the offensive zone off this draw, that's not how Anthony Bone will feel. And now Olsen off to the races, has position on Flores, who knocks Olsen off the puck. Still able to bump it up top for Rauner. His wrister. Abduliev tracked it. It was wide of the net. Rauner again steps in from the right point. Down low, now tries to put the pass in front. Esplin will regather. Flores was bobbling his stick. Olsen rims the puck around to the near side wall. Jackson will take it away and surge forward. MJ across the line. McLeish, great play to glove it. And then a three-car pileup just inside the Idaho Falls line. Cron tries to dig this free in the neutral zone. Does so. Rink-wide pass broken up by Brown. An active stick for the, wow. McLeish hits Brown. And what in the world was that? One of the Idaho Falls players popped Brown, who then returned the favor. Both of them quite lucky to not wind up with a penalty. 2-on-1, Shirao waits, and the one-timer, and it's Camden Cunningham who finds the back of the net and comes over to celebrate with the Pueblo faithful. So Idaho Falls with 92 seconds left in this second period, able to draw first blood and take the lead. Cunningham able to finish the 2-on-1 with authority. And for the third game in the series, Idaho Falls has drawn first blood. Guerrero winds it around. Winogle leaves it for Metzger. They'll flip it in behind the Spud Kings net. Strickland, now Metzger will backhand it, tries to get it to the point, picked off by Schmidt. Schmidt bumps it along for Wisenand, who puts it behind the bull net. Guerrero drills it around. I think it hit Canavari's stick. It did not. 58 seconds to go in the second period. Camden Cunningham with the tally. Jack Shirao, the lone assist on the goal. Third apple of the year for Shirao, and the 11th goal for Camden Cunningham. Is now up to 19 points on the year. Bulls win the draw, put this one off the glass, but not out. Metzger's second effort will get it into the neutral zone for Winogle. Tries to get it around Rauner. Now LaPetrie. Indirect pass for McLeish out of his own zone. The Spud King co-captain. Headman pass for Warshaw across the Pueblo line. He's knocked down by Guerrero. McLeish and a blocker saved by Abdulia. Puck still rolling around. That could have been a penalty on Parker Chaw, who then takes a slash from behind from LaPetrie. Those two still mixing it up behind the play. Chaw turns forward, loses possession. Warshaw, left wing circle, dances to the backhand, and Guerrero with a diving poke check. One last push for the Bulls here in the second. Winogle across the blue line. 6 seconds to play in the period. Winogle tied up by Rauner. Those two will go into the corner, and that will do it for the second period. Camden Cunningham cleans up a one-timer with 1:32 to go in the frame, and he's given Idaho Falls the lead after 40 minutes tonight in a hard-fought matchup. These two teams battling it out for a precious 2 points. And it's Idaho Falls that has the lead after 40 minutes tonight. We'll step aside for the intermission break when we return. Period number 3 from the Pueblo Ice Arena. It's been a good one so far. 20 more minutes in store on Black Bear TV and the Around the Horns network. Moments away from the start of the third period here tonight in Pueblo. Brendan Price with you. 1-0 Idaho Falls. On the one-timer from Camden Cunningham, finishing off the 2-on-1 pass from Jack Shirow. That goal coming with 1:33 remaining in the second period. That has been the difference. It's been a coin flip, a physical. Both teams have had really good opportunities at net. The Bulls asked all the right questions in that second period. They outshot Idaho Falls 8-6 in that second period. The Spud Kings still with the overall edge, 24-19, or rather 24-15, in the shot category. But the Bulls had a couple of sequences where that third line, Rigatano, Metzger, and Winogle generated two really good looks at net. Rigatano has hit the post and a crossbar tonight. And the Bulls have been knocking on the door against Alex Sabev, who's been a perfect 19 for 19 so far tonight. My goodness. Need to get the glasses prescription checked on my notes in the scoreboard here. Sabev perfect tonight in his 13th appearance of the season. And entering period number 3, the question is, do the Bulls have one more comeback in them? They came from behind with 3 unanswered, 1 in the second and 2 in the third a night ago to knock off Idaho Falls and steal the win. Now they're going to have to try and get a couple minimum here in this third period to do the same thing at the Spud Kings' expense. No carryover penalties to start period number 3. Everyone at full strength. As we mentioned last night, a couple of fights, and all around it was a heated matchup. Tonight, the penalties have been at a minimum. Each team again in the second period, like the first, had one power play opportunity. And again, like the first, neither team was able to convert as the Bulls take the ice. The next goal in this one, pivotal. The way these two goaltenders have played, though, and the way these two defenses have played, will there be a next goal? Maybe is the better question as the Bulls make their way over to the bench. And Chris will hide up on the top step. One more word for the red, white, and black. And on the Idaho Falls side, Anthony Bone and the Spud Kings trying to keep pace with Ogden at the top of the Mountain Division standings. They need 2 points here tonight in order to do it. Ogden leads Casper 3-0 right now in the third period. Or check that, it's 4-2. A little slow on the update there on the stat page. Grand Junction and Rock Springs are tied at 2 after 40 minutes tonight in Grand Junction. Again, the Riverhawks have already clinched their playoff spot, and they're fairly well locked in to that number 3 position. Metzger and Esplin for the opening faceoff in the third period. And it's Metzger who will win it straight back. The Bulls temporarily control off the draw. We are underway in period number 3. Rigatano will wire this in behind the Idaho Falls net. Rounder back to fetch it for the Spud Kings. Olsen starts forward. Now Jackson takes the hit. The Spud Kings still able to push the puck deep into the Pueblo zone. Flores has that puck wedged up against the corner boards. Now Metzger has his pocket picked. Rigatano tries to swipe it forward for himself. And now Winogle in the neutral zone will label it off the skates of McLeish. And the stretch pass, Cron will tip it off the corner glass up and out of play. And in the first 20 minutes tonight, we saw Idaho Falls was really consistent. They sent 2 or 3 bodies forward on the forecheck. In that second period, though, not sure if it was an adjustment or maybe something a little more opportunistic from the Spud Kings, but really started to try for more of those long headman stretch passes from their own zone. And we saw late in that second period where they had 3 of 4 attempts at that kind of breakout. Resulted in icing. Here a neutral zone draw as Long drills this off the end glass. Zeisel takes a bad bounce and then LaPetrie over skates. Puck falls kindly for Atchison, who barrels into the high slot. His shot deflected wide, slap shot on the second effort, and a left pad saved by Abduliev. Zeisel will push it ahead. Schultz tries to get to the biscuit first. Cannavaro able to knock it away from him. Strickland plays it into the corner to himself. Harassed by Zeisel, who takes it away. Zeisel tries a pass into the high slot. Puck rolling around in the left wing circle. Zeisel was hit behind the play by Strickland. Bulls asking for a penalty. They won't get it. LaPetrie makes the body save. Some folks not so kindly asking for an interference penalty. Sable tied up by Clark behind the Idaho Falls net. This is what the Spud Kings did so well on Thursday. Just able to push the puck up against the boards and second by second take time away from the Pueblo offense. Chaw, left point, will swing it down low. Guerrero steps in and finishes his check on Wizenan, and they're going to get a penalty on Guerrero. I think it's going to be a cross check. Oh, it's going to be head contact. Tomato, potato, as Guerrero will head to the box, and the Bulls will head to the penalty kill. 2:11 to go into the third period. Or rather, 2:11 into the third period. A jumble of words there. Dave Nelson, the associate head coach, at the edge of the bench, making his displeasure known. And this is a pivotal penalty kill. Again, a 1-goal game early on. If you're the Bull offense, you don't really want to be chasing a multiple goal deficit here in this third period. As now the officials over by Chris Wilhite giving him an explanation. And again, to be fair, I understand why maybe some folks, if you're wearing the red and black tinted glasses, are upset. The hit on Zeisel just moments before was uncalled. But from this angle, especially up here in the press box, I could not see if it was head contact or not for the penalty, but it did look like Gordon Guerrero extended his arms just enough to maybe draw the ire of the officials. And a rather lengthy conversation with Chris Wilhite at the corner of the bench. And now the referees have all gotten together again. And again, this was a relationship fraught with discontent, at times outright animosity last night. The Bulls bench and the officials. And Idaho Falls back to the power play. Third man advantage attempt of the night for a team that comes in at 22% on the power play. McLeish around the perimeter. Spud Kings go to work. McLeish holds up. Wrist shot, and Abduliev will make the stop right in the P logo on the sweater. Oh, a quick shot. McLeish, I don't think quite got the traffic he was hoping for in front of the net on that look. And now Flores in the corner, tries to dig the puck out, taken away there by Wade. Clark sensing an opportunity to dispossess Wade will do so. But the Bulls still unable to clear the zone. Grimaldi gets it up to Cannavaro. Those two play pitch and catch on the near wing wall. Grimaldi whips a pass back to Cannavaro, edges in. Now McLeish in the high slot, shadowed by Clark. Spud Kings methodically move it around the perimeter, waiting for an opportunity to get a shooting lane, and they get one when Cannavaro blisters a one-timer past Abduliev. Right on cue, Cannavaro tattoos his third goal of the season past Abduliev, and 3:01 into the third period. The Idaho Falls advantage doubled. And if Chris Wilhite and Dave Nelson over on the Bulls bench were unhappy before, that may certainly only extend their displeasure. And Idaho Falls makes the third time the charm on the power play. Long behind the Pueblo net. Arigatano. Winogle leaves it for Metzger across the Idaho Falls line. Metzger drop pass looking for Winogle. Chops Strickland's stick out of his hands. Play continues. Winogle still battling for possession in the corner. Lays it off for Metzger. Tries to dangle and dance to the front of the net. Arigatano whips it to the left point looking for Long. The puck takes a wicked bounce off the boards. And Long has to reset in the neutral zone and feather it behind the Idaho Fall net. Brown on the backhand will give it to Long. Arigatano hits Tricek in stride. The rookie races across the Spud King line. Gets it only as far as Cron. That one in the neutral zone. Cron will get it to Esplin. Edge of the left wing circle. Esplin on the forehand. Knocked off the puck by Chaw. Cron back to Esplin in the near side corner. Cron behind the Pueblo net now. Tries to push a pass in front. Broken up. And the Spud Kings with a 2-goal lead. Looking to bleed the clock a little bit early in this third period. Again, they salted the game away quite effectively on Thursday night. Bloomer through traffic. The tip in front from Cron just went wide of Abduliev. And what a shift this has been for the Spud Kings. Hem the Bulls into their own zone. Arigatano's slap shot hit Strickland. And the Bulls have to hurry a partial change. Cron dispossessed in the Bulls zone. Now it's Schultz. Starts forward on the attack. Warshaw takes it away. Schultz gives it right back. Woods pass block. He's then tied up right in front of the Idaho Falls bench. Schultz gets the puck free. Schultz, right wing circle. Look short side. Sabev makes the save. Dropped the rebound and immediately swallowed it up. Bloomer and Flores exchanging how do you do's right in front of Sabev. As play brought to a halt. And that's been the second time tonight that we've seen a shot from a tough angle at Alex Sabev where he just maybe hasn't corralled the rebound as cleanly as he would have liked. Almost giving the Bulls a chance on the doorstep. $14:59 to go here in the third. The Bulls will have to erase the 2-goal deficit now after Santino Cannavari's third goal of the year. Flores, great work to hold the zone. At the right point, Flores still in possession. Pulls away on the forehand. Now tied up by Cannavaro. Flores will flop it along for Schultz. Works into some space. Face-off circle, now high slot. Schultz. Flores, one-timer. Nearly handcuffed Sabev, who made the stop, and a penalty on Idaho Falls. It's hooking going against Tyler Atchison. And the Bulls will go to the power play for the third time tonight. And something we mentioned in the second period when the Bulls had their second power play of the night, that you don't want to keep letting those opportunities go by the wayside, depending on how things go, and that's where you're at here. Third power play of the game. You really want to try and have this deficit here if you can. You don't want to be chasing 2 goals for very long. Jackson will lay this off for Flores. He'll start the breakout. Flores, outlet pass for Schultz, down the left wing. Schultz hits the brakes, throws it away. Jackson recovers though, able to support the drop pass from Schultz. MJ will push this behind the Idaho Falls net. Rauner hits the deck, gets it only as far as Flores. The Bulls will try and set up on the power play. Clark dances it free to Flores. And now the Bulls will set up in earnest. Clark wants it in the bumper position, doesn't get it. Zeisel wheels around, left wing circle. Flores, one-timer wide of the net. And again, the Bulls get the one-timer look. This time, Flores missed the mark. A minute left on the power play. Rigatano, power play unit number 2 across the boards, and Brown nearly gave it away. And now the Bulls have numbers on the counter. Metzger, down low Scherber. Scherber looks for a Rigatano, the backhander. And Sabab swallows it up. Torin Rigatano has been knocking on the door all night tonight. Again, mentioned he hit a post and a crossbar in the second period here. The backhand effort swallowed up by Sabev. Warshaw wins the draw back. And again, Idaho Falls will look to wipe out the rest of this penalty kill with the puck in the corner. Bulls wedge it free. Brown up top. Scored from there yesterday. Scherber, top of the right wing circle. Now Brown through traffic. Warshaw was the one who tipped the shot. And now the Spud Kings clear the zone. Abduliev came right out to try and catch Idaho Falls on a change. Winogle gets the re-entry, drops it for a Rigatano. Torin waits, left wing circle, accelerates, wrists one, and Sabev makes the stop. Quick whistle brings play to a halt with 12:39 to go in the third and 9 seconds left on the Pueblo power play. And again, Pueblo trails the Utah Outliers by 10 points in the standings. Tonight included, they have 6 games remaining on their schedule. That's 12 available points. So a loss tonight would not mathematically eliminate the Bulls from playoff contention, but it would mean that they would have to win out and Utah would have to lose out in a matchup with Ogden, Rock Springs, and Idaho Falls in the regular season finale. Idaho Falls back at full strength. Now Long thought about the stretch pass, holds on to possession. Now he snapped his stick trying to make the stretch pass. Grimaldi dances, waits, and he scores. Sam Grimaldi, the Idaho Falls captain and franchise leader in goals, the beneficiary of an unfortunate broken stick from Evan Long instead of a clear. It winds up in the back of the net. '23rd goal of the season for Grimaldi. And the task continuing to get that much taller for the Bulls here in the third period. Tie up off the draw. Bulls will push it forward to Rigatano. Goes down low for Morrissey. Morrissey waits. Rigatano too tight on the spacing in the faceoff circle. Couldn't get turned around on the one-timer. Clark whiffed on the outlet pass. It's been that kind of third period for the Bulls thus far. Rigatano lays it off in the neutral zone. Nobody there. A board meeting just outside the Bulls zone. Esplin will finally get an out across corner dump in. Guerrero chops it away from Cron. And then Cron will leave it for Esplin. Left wing circle. And again, the Spud Kings third line Setting up in the offensive zone. Outlet pass for Rigatano. Intercepted. Now Cha will leave it for Guerrero. Guerrero to center red. A board battle ensues. Scherber tries to jam the puck free. Comes out for Cha. That one off of a Spud King stick and out of play. I believe it clipped the bottom of the rafters. That low-hanging ceiling here at the Pueblo Ice Arena. Clark and Camden Cunningham for the draw. Clark, clean win back. Jackson will wire this in behind the Spud King net. Canavari will look to just tie it up momentarily. Comes out to Jackson at the point. Through traffic, Sabev makes the stop. Zeisel was sitting on the doorstep hoping for a rebound, but Sabev swallowed it up. One and done on the sequence for the Bulls. They'll get an offensive zone face-off, however. Clark and Warshaw for the draw. Clark wins it back to Zeisel, who's immediately tied up on the right wing half wall. Clark trying to dig the puck out. Finally does so. McLeish spins away from Scherber. Good body control from the Spud King co-captain. Delayed offside here. Puck bounces free. LaPetrie over the Pueblo line. Drop pass for Warshaw. Takes the hit. Keeps play moving. Atchison. He'll tie up in the left wing corner. Flores. Only as far as Atchison. Now Rauner walks the line. Waits for an angle. Takes a shot. Low and wide of Abduliev. Now McLeish. His bid. Wide of the mark. Jackson for Scherber. That should be icing with 9:46 to go. And a tired group out on the ice for the Bulls here to contend with a defensive zone face-off. We'll see where they put the draw. It'll be on the right wing. A little bit unfortunate that the Bulls won't get the media timeout. Clean win off the draw. Abduliev with a glove save. And that will take us to the Powerhouse Excavation and Construction media timeout. Well, first class from Mario and Tristan here inside the Pueblo Ice Arena. It's Robert Smith and his family all here tonight celebrating Bryson. And during the media timeout, a penalty was assessed to the Bulls. It's Trichek on the board, but I have to think that it was a bench minor, and they just put Trichek on the board because he's the one who's serving the penalty. Sabev will leave it for Rauner, and the Idaho Falls offense 1 for 3 on the power play, already tonight. And again, with a 3-goal lead, this may be more about possession and retention than even finding a 4th goal necessarily. And if you're the Bulls, I think you have to get much more aggressive on the penalty kill than you otherwise would like to be. Again, it's not technically an elimination game, so to speak, but you have taken away any margin for error anywhere if you can't pick up 2 points tonight. Winogle into the high slot. Still battling for possession. Warshaw back checks and takes it away. And now Wisenand races forward. Full head of steam, barrels into the high slot. A blocker save by Abduliev. McLeish will circle back in the Idaho Falls zone. Gets a full head of steam, and here goes McLeish. Now Schmidt. Quick snapshot. Abduliev made the save, dropped the rebound, but it wound up right between the pads all the same. 40 seconds left on the bench minor assessed to the Bulls. Clark wins the faceoff cleanly back. Bulls try and tie the puck up behind the net, still bouncing around. Schmidt on the backhand will get it out to Cannavaro at the point. Cannavaro lays it off for Grimaldi. Spud King's patient around the perimeter. McLeish. Wade now downstairs. Still trying to get to the front. Cannavaro whips one, and it didn't miss by much either. Zeisel rink-wide pass intercepted on the back check by Grimaldi. Now Cannavaro peels away from Clark, hits Wade through the neutral zone. Bulls back at full strength. They kill off the penalty. And Wade right on the doorstep looking for a rebound after Abduliev made the first save. Offensive zone face-off for Idaho Falls. Schultz and Esplin, both of them jump the gun on the face-off, and it's Esplin that will get kicked from the circle. Braden Olson will step in. And the Bulls ice the puck right away. And now, behind the play, Bloomer is getting absolutely pelted by Parker Shaw. Bloomer is just turtling at this point. Shaw in a frenzy like we've never seen. I don't know that I've seen Parker Shaw drop the mitts or really be that physical out on the ice before. Usually a pretty cool customer, and that one went from 0 to 60 in a hurry. This will be 5 and a game for the rookie Parker Shaw. I think the question is going to be, will Bloomer get a penalty or not? Because, quite frankly, from what I could see, Bloomer really didn't engage in the fight itself. He was more drawn into it as an unwilling combatant. And I wonder if that's the conversation they're having outside the scorer's box. McLeish and Brody Clark await the disciplinary determination, as do we. Well, Bloomer is being escorted towards the door, and it looks like his night is done as well. He'll get a jump start on the shower. And again, all things considered, I think Parker Chaw might wind up with an instigation minor here. We saw that last night when Mick Keegan got involved with Camden Cunningham. And Anthony Bone over at the visitors bench asking for an explanation. And with 7:33 to go here in the third period, 3-0 contest. The final regular season meeting between these two teams, there was that little voice in the back of the head when we showed up to the rink today that wondered, given the rivalry, the physicality, and quite frankly, the animosity these two teams have for each other out on the ice, wondered if maybe there might be some score settling. Morrissey is going to have to serve the minor penalty to Parker Chaw that I imagine will go up on the board here in a moment. Well, there it is. Chaw will get a double minor. And again, that's not, I don't think that's unwarranted either. Grimaldi in the corner, harassed by Adam Brown. Scherber throws a check on Schmidt. And every board battle from here on out is going to be an adventure. 7:10 to go here in regulation. Cannavaro. Yep. So it's slashing and instigating as Cannavaro cuts all the way to the net. And Abduliev with a sliding right pad save. So that slash must have been behind the play that instigated the whole mess, and then Shaw dropped the mitts, got the instigator minor, and then the 5 in a game for both he and Bloomer for the fight itself. Jackson will retreat behind his own end line, and that's knowing your own rink. Just able to keep that underneath the low roof and in play. Rauner will start out of his own end for the Spud Kings. Rauner drop pass for LaPetrie, nearly lost possession. Zeisel poaching a turnover in the neutral zone. Again, a 3-goal deficit, and those are the chances you have to take on the penalty kill. LaPetrie, full head of steam across the Bulls line. LaPetrie on the forehand, uses the end boards. Spud Kings try and start the cycle. Flores will bounce that around into the high slot. Schultz shorthanded, tries to spring Zeisel. Jimmy Z waits across the line onside, looking for the trailer. Flores downstairs for Zeisel. Whips a pass for Schultz in the high slot. Flores was headed off for a change. Atchison onside across the Bulls line. Lays it off for LaPetrie. His backhand pass blocked, just goes low and wide of Abduliev. Now Atchison from the left wing circle, and a right pad save by Abduliev. This penalty killing unit has been out there for over a minute, gassed to the extreme here as Wizenan hit from behind by Schultz over near Abduliev. And Schultz with a little extra something over in front of the net. 5:14 to go in the third period, 1:41 left on the double minor given to Parker Chaw. Abduliev having to fix his gear. Another 30-plus save night for Max Abduliev. Grimaldi and Metzger for the face-off. Bulls will get this out to the neutral zone. McLeish will hit right down Broadway. His slap shot blocked by Ellsworth. McLeish will get it back in the corner, tied up by the aforementioned Ellsworth. Slap shot, the tip in front from Grimaldi just goes wide. And now Metzger shorthanded, 2-on-2 with Winogle. Metzger on net, glove saved by Sabev, and well, that was a little something extra. I think Winogle's going to want a piece of McLeish, who whacked him across the shins. As those two, yeah, right up and personal in the kitchen down there. The linesman trying to get everybody moved out of there. And I wonder if McLeish is going to get an escort to the sin bin. That appears to be where he's going. We'll see if there's any matching minor for Winogle or not. At the moment, oh, no, there goes the door. So Winogle will head to the sin bin as well. So matching minors for McLeish and Winogle. So we should continue to play 5-on-4 since the minor penalties were both after the whistle. And I think the officials are going to have a little bit longer of a conversation with leadership on both sides again. The conclusion of the 9-game regular season head-to-head series is tonight. And you don't necessarily want things to get, I think, too out of hand. And now one of the referees over quick conversation with associate head coach Dave Nelson. And now they're trying to figure out where the face-off will go. Will still be down in the Idaho Falls zone. Spud King still on the power play for the next minute 10. Grimaldi will start forward out of his own zone and then peel back. Rauner on the drop pass. Will shift it to Canavari across the left point. Back for Wade. Spud King set up. Rauner in the high slot. Backdoor one-timer. Abduliev with a diving save, and Ellsworth able to clear the zone. Sabev will leave that for Rauner. Rauner through the neutral zone again, hits Wade on the drop pass. Accelerates across the goal line. Around two, Wade. His snapshot deflected before it can get on goal. Brown, that's going to be a penalty. Yep, that was a no-doubter on the hit from behind for Brown. Had the numbers lined up. I don't know that there was any intent necessarily to it, but it's a textbook check from behind. See pretty well whacked Grimaldi into the end boards. And Brown will take the skate of shame over to the penalty box. And so it will be 5-on-3 for the next 15 seconds. Now the linesman, nope, it's not going to be 2. It'll be 5 for Adam Brown as he's headed to the gate. So Adam Brown being escorted off the ice. With some less than, oh, yeah. The Pueblo bench, I think, is just getting the memo, but I believe it's just going to be a 2-minute penalty, and then Brown may have picked up an additional 10-minute major during the sequence. That's the only reason I can imagine that they would have sent Brown to the dressing room early. Schultz breaks up the pass, clears the zone, and now hustling shorthanded. Strickland goes to safety behind The Idaho Falls net starts forward again. 1:39 left on the power play. LaPetrie winds this around to Wizenan at the left wing half wall. Jackson shoulders him off the puck. Now LaPetrie up top for Strickland. Bounce pass. Now Schultz, shorthanded, trying to start the attack. Schultz whips one. Kick save, Saban with the left pad. And quickly, one and done for Pueblo offensively. Atchison across center red. Tries to get through three Bulls in the neutral zone. LaPetrie into the corner. Pass to the front of the net. And a tap in by Warshaw on the back door for another power play goal. And Idaho Falls pouring it on here in the third period. Bookie Warshaw stays hot with his fourth goal of the weekend. And Idaho Falls emphatically shutting down any Pueblo resistance here in the third period. .247 left here tonight from the PIA. Esplin and Metzger for the draw. Oh, they have to take Adam Brown's minor off the scoreboard. Well, or maybe they're just going to leave it up there, I suppose. Oh, 5-on-5. A dump in by the Bulls. Sable back to fetch it. Watch out. Everybody ducking for cover over on the Idaho Falls bench. And McLeish and Winogle are still chirping at each other as they both exit their respective penalty boxes. And I'm going to be quite frank, with 2:34 to go here, 4-0. Game well in hand. I would be surprised if I saw any of the Spud Kings' top 9 up front or 4 on the blue line the rest of the way. Again, they're still fighting for home ice advantage. They've only got 2 games left, or rather 4 games left after tonight. Long will push it up for Rigatano. Tries to whack it ahead for Metzger. Long will give it to Jackson. MJ off the wall, takes a bounce and goes out of play in the neutral zone with 2:02 left here tonight from Pueblo Ice Arena. The Bulls have been fighting with the 500 mark all season long. With a win tonight, they would have pushed right back to 500. Looking increasingly likely that they will fall to 22-24, 3-0, and officially be in a spot where they will have to win out and Utah will have to lose out in order for them to qualify for the postseason. I tell you, it's rare that it's this quiet here inside the Pueblo Ice Arena. I feel like I can hear myself talk and think. Bulls try and start up out of their own end. Zeisel will turn back, harassed by Wade. Now Ellsworth hits Flores from center red. That one, ooh, smoked a light fixture. The light's still on. That's a good thing. Shaking pretty good from the ceiling, though. It's a different form of target practice, one that I'm sure the rink manager is less than impressed with. Camden Cunningham wins the draw for Sable. He'll rip one around the boards, comes out on the far side. Ellsworth tries to chop it clear. Schultz out of his skates. Now Scherber. Stepped into by Myers, who comes up with the big hit there. Wade holds the zone for Idaho Falls. The Spud Kings will come to the PIA and take 2 of 3 on the road and improve to 36, 10-4 and keep pace with Ogden at the top of the Mountain Division standings. A much needed 4 points for the visitors in red and gold. And for the Bulls, it will be the fourth time they have been shut out this season. First time at home, and the third time by Idaho Falls. Something in the water for the red and gold when they play these Bulls this season. Third time in 9 head-to-head meetings that they will walk away with a donut in the opponent's goal column. Strickland from the right point through traffic. That one's knocked down. Puck still whacking around, rolling into the corner, and that will do it. The buzzer sounds. A 4-0 win for Idaho Falls and a shutout for Alex Sabev on the road, as the Spud Kings will walk away winners here tonight away from home. They take 2 of 3. They get 4 points. Alex Sabev with the shutout. 26 save shutout for Sabev tonight. He was outstanding between the pipes for Idaho Falls. He gets the bear hugs. It's his first career shutout in his second season with the Spud Kings. And a well-deserved bunch of hugs for the Idaho Falls goaltender. Dagenstein thrilled for his net-minding counterpart. And the Pueblo Bulls now need to win out and get help in order to qualify for the playoffs, but the postseason chase very much on life support after the defeat here tonight. 4-0, the Spud Kings get the job done. They score the first goal in the second period. Camden Cunningham finished off a one-timer with a minute and a half remaining in period number 2. Santino Canavari's power play tally with 3 minutes into the third period. A slap shot from the right point that beat Abduliev. Sam Grimaldi scoring his 23rd goal of the season. That on a wrist shot that beat Abduliev to the blocker side after Evan Long broke his stick, trying to clear the zone. And the final goal tonight, they've credited it to Sam Grimaldi, but it was Warshaw who put it in. A 2-on-1 in front of the left post. And Warshaw, who finished the weekend with 4 goals in 3 games, may very well find himself as the Mountain Division Forward of the Week when it's all said and done. And Alex Sabev, 26 save shutout tonight for the Spud Kings, who get their 35th win of the year for the Bulls. Max Abduliev, 34 saves, but not enough, as 4 pucks slipped past him and the Pueblo offense unable to get going here tonight at home. The Bulls back in action next Friday. They will head to Casper for a 3-game series with the Warbirds as they close out their road schedule, and then we'll close out the home schedule here on March 28th and 29th as they take on the Ogden Mustangs. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on Black Bear TV or the Around the Horns Network audio stream. On behalf of Kevin and Cecilia, running camera and lights upstairs, our audio engineer and producer Irene Mays, Brendan Price signing off tonight. The final score, 4-0, Idaho Falls gets the win.